I grew up in a small town, I guess you can call it the suburbs of Jerusalem. I mean, it's a secular environment, some religious people, but it's kind of a light religious belief. My parents both came to know Jesus when they were younger, and they had a personal relationship with Jesus, which meant celebrating the Jewish holidays, living amongst Jewish people. A specific moment that I would say is how I met Jesus was when I was 8 years old. I was sitting in a church and seeing a bright light through the aisle. And I remember just seeing a man walking, and it was just his footsteps walking down the aisle. And I knew that moment that Jesus was the truth. So the fears and questions that I had about following Jesus again, it started very young for me. So I think the first thing I would think of is rejection from the society. Just as a young kid who believes in Jesus, not fully understanding what that meant for other people. How do you explain that? How do you express yourself? For some years, I walked away and tried to find a different truth. I was miserable, I was unhappy, I was searching for every possible way to find something in the world that can sustain me and fill me. And when I came back to Jesus and I found him and he spoke to me and I read his word and saw what he did for me in the deepest way possible, it completely changed me. There's relationship with a living God who wants to know me and loves me. Jesus is the king of my life. When I get up in the morning, when I see life, sometimes it's not easy. Believing in Jesus doesn't mean everything is pink, that you live in a beautiful world, that everything is good. There's still pain, and there's still people who hurt people. And I think all of that changes when we have that eternal perspective, that there's something that is so much more than what my eyes see before me. The ministry work that I do is we serve as a team. We're a team of 4, and we serve people struggling with addiction to drugs, alcohol, prostitution, and homelessness. And we do that in the south part of Tel Aviv, which means we give out food just because that's a physical need that exists there. And when we share the good news with them, it's amazing to see how surprised they are that Jesus came to the world, that he experienced the pain, the rejection that they experience just to know them, just to know and be in a personal relationship with them. In this world that we're living in, the pace and what we're doing, there's never peace. There's never quiet in ourselves, in our hearts. And that's why we look for it in so many ways, through meditation, yoga, different faiths. And I really believe that only through Jesus, like I said, I found that peace. That circumstances don't have to change, but in myself, I found complete peace in the eye of the storms. The Jewish people are chosen to know the King of the universe, to be a light that leads others to find him. Jesus came as a Jewish person, as a Jewish man in flesh, so that we can relate and know that we can be Jewish, celebrate our Jewishness, and believe in him.